So, in regards to my last video, I got my iPad here just so I know what's going on here. So, the last video, what was it called? Breatharian, food is a drug, living off prana. That's one of the recent videos. So, there was quite a bit of, let's say, fellow drug addicts who jumped to defend their belief system and defend the way it is for them. You know, they were quick to show the limitations of their belief system by saying, this is insane, you can't do it, blah, 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 blah. Things I have heard, I will continue to hear as I talk about breatharianism. Nothing new, right? One person got really butthurt and decided to unsubscribe. And I wish him the best. And there was quite a bit of dislikes on it, on the video. Lots of people, you know, they get this, right? But some people just don't get it. They don't get it. And they say, what's the proof? What is this? What is that? Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so, you know, I said this before. You know, this is standard response. To he who knows, no explanation is necessary. You guys who know this, you just listen to this to reaffirm. I don't need to explain this. To he who knows, no explanation is necessary. To he who does not, none is possible, right? None is possible. And to the degree of which you're attached to your belief system, to the degree of which you quickly jump up to defend it, and defend your drug addiction, that just shows the degree of which you don't know who you are. Because if you was to know who you are, or if you have a glimpse, okay, I don't claim to know who I am, I just claim to have a glimpse of it. I'm at this stage of acceptance here. I accept I'm a drug addict. I accept it. I'm going to eat today, and I'm currently eating every day. Okay, I accept it. I am a drug addict. I know this, I accept it. You know, that's the first step. If you ever go to one of those programs, Alcoholic Anonymous or whatever, you know, there's the 12 steps in Alcoholic Anonymous. You know, I don't know what they are, but if we were to look at them, there's going to be definitely acceptance somewhere in the beginning or something similar. Okay, and since I got my iPad, let's look into it. What are the 12 steps? I think the first one is you acknowledge there's a creator or something. Let's see, 12-step program, or let's see, alcohol. Let's see. So, all right, 12-step program. Let's go. We admitted that we were powerless over alcohol, that our life has become unmanageable. Well, there you go. I'm in step one. See, it's the acceptance and the admittance. And the people who are quickly to jump over and say, I'm unsubscribing, oh, this is bullshit, you've gone insane. You're full of shit. This is a brain fart, right? Well, you haven't even got to step one. I'm talking from only the perspective of step one. So step one of AA, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. So if you haven't gone to step one, how do you expect to go anywhere further? Came to believe in the step two, come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. I'm kind of at that, I'm going in that level now where I'm asking spirit for grace to help me with my drug addiction. So I would say I'm going to step two right now, right? Step two, you know, I'm asking spirit, please, by grace me and help me with my addiction, with my drug addiction. But again, if you haven't got to step one, if you don't even know what step one is, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty good. The 12 steps of AA, you could apply that to any drug. It looks pretty good. I've never really checked it out, but hey, look, I mean, so far the first two steps, they're right on the money. They're right on the money. So first you admit that you're powerless over your addiction. Okay, you admit that you're an addict. So you've got to accept and admit that you're an addict. And if you're not admitting that you're an addict, then you're in a prison in which you don't know the prison, the bars. Just like Plato's allegory of the cave. You know, he goes out of the cave, sees the real world, comes back, tells everybody, oh, you guys don't know. It's not the shadows, because they think real life is the shadows, because there's shadows, they're in a cave, they're imprisoned in a cave, and all they see is shadows of things moving behind them, and they think that's the real world. You see? So then Plato comes back and says, look, guys, I went outside, or not Plato, but the person inside the cave that actually broke out of the prison, broke out of the cave and saw the real world. He says, look, there's the real world. You guys don't know what you're talking about. And then, of course, they wanted to kill him. And then Plato, basically, what he was trying to say with Plato's allegory of the cave is that, the person who broke out comes back to tell them there's a real world outside. You guys are in prison. That they actually quickly defended their prison because that's all they know and that's their comfort zone and that's their belief system and that's their programming. And the person who broke out is supposed to be the philosopher, and in many ways it represented Socrates, who was killed. He was killed. He was given the poison. He was imprisoned and killed because he was challenging too much. He was challenging people's belief system and they didn't like it. They did not like it whatsoever, and they imprisoned him and they gave him poison. They killed him. And so the Plato's allegory of the cave was supposed to be a symbolism, representation of that so-called insane. I mean, so one of you guys who subscribed, God bless your soul. Let's see, what did he say? I think he said something like, "You're going insane, Saeed," which I find hilarious, honestly. Like, part of me is compassionate because it's like, only if you know, you're not seeing what is. The other part is just it's like it's having fun with the whole thing. Here, let's see, where is it? Yeah, I think he said something like, you probably won't see this because you're unsubscribed. Here, okay, yeah. You seemed pretty sane a few months ago when I stumbled on your channel. Now you sound wackier than one of those flat earth cult members. I have unsubscribed from your channel because I don't want to see where this is going. I wish you well, goodbye. I wish you well too, brother. I wish you well too. But again, this is perfect right there. This is one of the people that are in the cave looking at the shadows, thinking the shadows are the real world. And here I am, nothing special about me really. Just want another philosopher who goes out of the cave, sees the real world and comes back. Okay, nothing special. Here I am going seeing the real world, coming back, look, this is how it is. No, that's not how it is. You're going insane. I want to defend my world. This is it. It's the shadows on the wall. Really, like that's, Socrates has been there and he got killed over it. How many people over history got killed over it because they challenged the belief system? And the slaves themselves, who don't know they're in prison, they don't know that the shadows on the wall are not real life. They don't know they're in prison. And the worst type of prison, ladies and gentlemen, the worst type of prison is a prison where you don't know you're in prison. If you don't know you're in prison, that's why, I give it to the architects of this matrix, of this socioeconomic matrix and this whole matrix. The reptilians, whatever you want to call them, the Anunnaki that tinkered with their DNA. I give it to them. Really. They raised some magnificent slaves who are at the whim of a little challenge to their slavery, which is their belief system. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. They will stand up and defend their slavery, their belief system. That's the what they think reality is. So that's actually, man, I admire the reptilians. I admire their work. I honestly admire the elites. I admire them for their cleverness, not wisdom. There's cleverness and wisdom. There's two different things. And I admire them for their cleverness. They're really clever to the point. If you could have slaves who defend their slavery, it doesn't get much clever than that. It isn't wise. It'll come bite you in the ass. Karma always comes bite you in the ass. But it's clever, goddammit, and I admire that. I really admire the dark side of the Force for their clever ways. I almost bow down to it. It's pretty clever. When you got a slave who defends their slavery, who want to stay in the bars, in the prison. That's pretty clever. I admire, that's all. They're good, they're doing a good job at being themselves, those people who have us in these belief systems, right? They're really doing a good job. Okay, so you gotta give it to them. Yeah, you gotta give it to them. They're playing a good role, good part. So, yeah, that's sort of the way it is. So I see this part of me. Well, the first part is always sort of, you take things with humor because you know, like, it's funny because it's also it's funny to see. It really is funny and tragic at this. It's the cosmic tragedy of it all. It's cosmically tragic and tragically cosmic. Tragically cosmic. It's tragically comical and comically tragic to see people do that. No, you do not need food to survive. Okay, that's just the way it is. That's the way it is. That's just you're under a program. You're under a spell. And whether you know this or not, I don't really care. To those who know, no explanation is necessary. To those who don't, none is possible. Okay, I'm only speaking here to the folks who are at least at step one. You admit you're an addict. Okay, let's read that again. Step 1 of AA, the 12 steps program. Admit that you are powerless over your alcohol addiction. So admit that you're powerless over your food addiction. Now I admit. I'm eating every day. I admit it. I admit it. Step 2, you ask a power greater than you to restore you to sanity. That's so funny. Father, forgive me for I have sinned. That's funny. Oh man. Okay, so anyway, I don't really want to get in the way of anybody's drug addiction, right? I'm an addict myself. And so, hey, like, if you want to do you, do you. If you want to continue to be, to consume the drug you're consuming and have to deal with the hangover and all that, be you, do you. I've just dealt with the hangover last night. I slept for, 8-9 hours? Feeling pretty good now, but I know if I got less sleep, then, that hangover would have carried on and would have really ruined my day today. So I really needed to sleep quite a bit to deal with the hangover, and it's dealt with. And I'll just keep repeating for now. I'll eat today, I'll go sleep, sleep at least 8-9 hours so that the hangover is fully dealt with by the time I wake up, so that my day isn't so ruined. Because I know if I sleep less, then the hangover carries on. It ruins a beautiful, beautiful day. That it's sunny too. It hasn't been sunny in a few days, so I'll actually go make the next few videos outside. We'll take you guys on a walk and we'll make the videos. Thank you to all the Patreons for supporting this channel and supporting these rants. I love you guys, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, so God bless you all, and may the force be with you.